Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's morning here where I am. Still dark outside, my favorite time to channel and do tarot. So, I'm really excited about today's readings to offer to you guys, all about how you are remembered. And just to keep the energy fresh and to keep myself from stagnating and just these readings fresh as ever. I have everything pre-shuffled, so there's a ton of tarot cards that came through. We've got some animal spirit cards and a few oracles as well to really deep dive into the details of how you are remembered by people. So I have 3 crystals for you guys to choose from today. These crystals have been sitting on top of each pile of cards, soaking up the energies. So whenever you guys are ready, as always, follow your intuition, don't overthink it, and we'll get right into your readings. All right, what is up, group number 1? I'm setting your crystal aside. I've got a lot of cards for you today. So I'm just gonna start with the oracles, and then we'll find out more with your tarot cards. So how are you remembered? Let's get right into it. How do people remember pile number 1, please, Spirit? Shield Maiden. Ooh, I love this. If you guys have been following my content on both my channels, you know I've been obsessed with this warrior archetype. So, I mean, how are you remembered? You might be someone that has like, body art, tattoos. There might be something very memorable about your hair, but overall, people remember you by your warrior spirit. You're probably someone that has experienced quite a lot of loss or quite a lot of battles within your life. I'm getting this sense of the phoenix rising from the ashes again and again and again. Nothing can hold you down. I am hearing because you have been through so much. It's like you're very self-made and you've learned how to rely on yourself for a lot. So it's like when you say you're going to do something, you do it. I'm getting very the energy of, like, I'm getting Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords and King of Wands, King of Swords type of energy. So very much so go-getters and attracting a lot of attention wherever you go. Someone that no matter where you seem to go and no matter how many times you tend to start over somewhere, this is an individual that you just stand out. Your energy speaks extremely loud, and you're someone that usually somehow ends up being in leadership positions. And if you don't find yourself in a leadership position, you pretty much kind of embody those energies. So people treat you as such anyways, no matter where you go. So how are you remembered? You are loved. So yeah, you leave such a mark on the hearts of people that you come into contact with. I just flipped over another card is, so again, I'm trying things differently. But at the same time, sometimes if I do it too soon, I get all the channelings at once. So yeah, I feel like you're remembered because, even if you are having short interactions with like the cashier or the person, your barista, whatever, like your short interactions, I feel like you communicate to people that you see them, you see people, and you treat them as such. And I feel like there's probably a deeper part of you that recognizes that we're all God, right? And so I feel like you draw that out of people, and people feel really loved around you. People feel genuinely appreciated just for existing. And you feel like the energy that I'm feeling right now is someone that, again, sees beyond the roles. And no matter if you've been in someone's life for like 5 minutes or 5 years or whatever, like people just feel genuinely appreciated and that they don't have to hide around you. You're extremely transformative to be around. So it's like people cannot help but come into your field, come into your aura, and be deeply transformed by it. I mean, the Eagle card represents a being that the ball of sun or this ball of light represents karma in this card. I'm pretty sure. I might just be making this up, but I'm going to go with it because it absolutely is fitting. So the eagle, this represents karma, and the eagle comes down and essentially grabs the karma by its talons and just transmutes it. So it's like, again, I'm getting this shield maiden energy is really... there's a lot of air here. It's really exemplified and exacerbated in the sense that you don't hide, you don't cower. You're not one, like, you have fears, like you're connected to this, shared screen of consciousness that is humanity. So you have fears, but you never let that get in the way of like going after things. It's like, even when you are struggling, even when you are like in the biggest of ruts, it's like you are an inspiration to people, and you teach a lot. You're a natural teacher. And yeah, people fall in love with you quite easily, platonically, romantically, probably too as well. But you know, people just have a hard time not loving you, because I feel like this sense of being a protector kind of extends to your friends and your family, just humanity in general. Like very what's the word? Philanthropic type of energies, where you fight for humanity. So maybe there, like I've got some, you know, people with significant placements in Aquarius, for example, tuning into this, because there is a lot of air in general, but you know, you could honestly be any sign here. So why do people remember you? Yeah, you embrace all aspects of the human experience. You embrace people's shadow as well as their light, and I feel like, again, because I'm getting the sense that you guys have just seen a lot and been through a lot, that, you know, you understand how shadow is here to help shape us just as much as our light is. And so you're someone that doesn't seem like you hide. Like, you're a very honest individual. You cut through the bullshit, and you don't dwell on things very long. I feel like you don't, it's very hard for someone like you to be in a victim mentality for too long. I mean, I feel like, you know, we all slip into it now and again, but I feel like that's just not something that you stay into too long. You embrace all aspects of the human experience. And again, that's why people feel so safe around you, to show up as they truly are, because you're not going to condemn them. You're not going to bind them to their karmas, essentially, right? All of everything that is ephemeral, including the personality. It's like you see beyond it, and you just see these roles for what they are. So yeah, the Hanged Man essentially kind of confirms all of that. It's like you are suspended. It's like you engage in life. You know no other way. Like, you're engaging in, you know, as the Bhagavad Gita says, you know, one of the most spiritual texts on our planet, takes place on a battlefield. And some people argue that it's, you know, actual events, and some people think that it's more of just an analogy. But regardless, it's interesting that it takes place on a battlefield, and it talks about transmuting our karma through action, transmuting our karma through what's known as karma yoga. So everything that you're doing, all the actions you perform, the thoughts, you know, the people you work with, everything you do, you know, all these plans you make, and your focus is in order to, you know, is a devotion to God, is a devotion to source. It's a devotion to life itself, right? And so I feel like with this Hanged Man energy, people remember you because, you know, you seem to float through things so effortlessly. You seem like you are like really involved, right? You're in the world, but not of it. It's like people remember you because they're like, wow, this person is not human. Like, how do they continue to rise again and again and again? Yeah, people see you as someone who's very free spirited, very untethered, a lot of magnetic power. You draw people to you. You have a very youthful energy. You seem to make a celebration out of life itself. Yeah, natural teacher everywhere you go. So people learn a lot from you. People, again, didn't that come through in the beginning? Like, people come to you for advice a lot. People see you as a teacher. I wouldn't be surprised if within this incarnation you are a teacher in some way for people. So you might be a fitness instructor of some sort, or like or you're like leading retreats, or you're, you know, you have a blog, or there's something that, you know, where this old soul energy, because old souls naturally have that light workers thread within their soul's blueprint, which is, you know, everything that you've learned throughout incarnation and how to get through life with, you know, with the least amount of suffering. You've learned that throughout thousands of incarnations, maybe probably not just on Earth, right? Not just on this and within this domain. And so naturally that wisdom comes out, right? Especially because, you know, light workers and, you know, starseeds, whatever you want to call it, naturally we have this innate mechanism within us that when there's suffering before us, that we want to alleviate it. Right? We want to alleviate suffering. That's part of the blueprint of, you know, these beings that resonate with being way showers and with being healers on this planet. And so, you know, part of that alleviating the suffering before us is through what we speak and how we live our lives and the example that we set. And oftentimes older souls naturally have platforms where they're sharing this type of stuff because they can't help it. It's not because, oh, I'm an old soul, so I need to teach. It's like, no, it's like, the horse is already in front of the carriage, right? It's like you are an old soul, therefore you naturally want to extend your learnings to help alleviate suffering, right? The bodhisattvic vow to continue to incarnate or to just incarnate at places within this, multiverse where there is a lot of suffering and to help restore dharma. So yeah, natural teacher. People remember you because you seem familiar to them. A lot of people probably think you are a significant person in their life. So what I mean by that is I wouldn't be surprised if you do have a platform or if you do have a large following or if this happens in the future, as you extend more of your teachings to other people. Wouldn't be surprised if people are like, you're my soulmate, you're my person, you're my twin flame, you are who I've been looking for. And it's like, man, I'm just getting started. Like, I don't have a whole lot of people tuning into my work right now, but even still then, like I actually woke up this morning, I'm like, God, I wonder what Stargirl's inbox must look like. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, dang, it's just so crazy. And, it just comes along with the territory and you just understand it's just people's karma. It's just people's projections, I should say. It's not really necessarily about me or about Stargirl or whatever. But the thing about that is noteworthy is that, when people say that you feel like home, which I'm sure you get that a lot, or people get really attached to you, people don't want to let you go when you're in their life. It's like when people say that you feel like home or they want to be around you, it's because they can feel your connection to source. They can feel your like blissful lightheartedness, again, not to say that you don't have moments of suffering, but it's like you've really learned how to put that into context. Like, these are my yogis, these are my mystics tuning into this. And so it's like people feel like they're home when they're around you because they can feel your connection to source. And, oftentimes that's where that projection comes in until individuals understand and learn how to source that connection for themselves. It's like they'll be really drawn to your light. In order to, get a taste of that, right? But, through osmosis, you will communicate to them how to do that. And they'll, eventually get to a point to where they're being more self-sourced and not relying on you so much. So yeah, I mean, you're just someone that, again, that feeling, that notion of having been through a lot, like people remember you because it's like, I'm seeing you as this nest and I'm seeing people like coming to you for refuge, right? It's like your energy, your aura kind of creates this safe place for people to come in and to nestle in and to feel supported and to feel like they are taken care of. Yeah, because, I was getting that sense. Some of you guys might be parents too. And I heard this recently and it deeply resonated with me because I'm a mother. But it's like once you have like that parent cord activated, you notice that there's this like deep biological mechanism of like, I will protect my kin at all costs, psychologically, emotionally, physically, like across the board, spiritually, right? I will protect my kin. I will go to war to make sure that my child is protected. And once that's activated in one area, and you're also like, you're an advanced soul, so you've just taken incarnation, you've taken birth many, many times. It's like that extends to the rest of humanity as well. And so like you have that parental cord, like I'm going to take you under my wing, I'm going to protect you, not just for your own children, but like that really extends to other seekers, right? That extends to people that are on their path. You feel that they're on their path and you just want to uplift them, right? You want everyone to rise together because you understand, a deeper part of you understands that, we're only as strong as our weakest player, right? And this is a co-creative experience. And, as when everyone lifts up, it's like the entire planet becomes a little bit easier, a lot easier actually to exist on. So again, I feel like even if you're not parents, I mean, likelihood is you've been parents many times and many other incarnational experiences. So you probably have always had that, if you have younger siblings or if you just have friends, even if you're the younger friend, those people that are tuning into my stuff, tuning into my content, it's very safe to say that you just have this aura about you where you're like, I'm here to protect my people, right? I'm fighting for humanity. I'm fighting for what's right. And yeah, people remember you like unforgettable. It's impossible to not remember someone like you, someone's energy. And I'm sure you get that a lot. Like, whoa, I didn't know someone like you could exist, right? People are just flabbergasted and, they're quite moved. And, I feel like you're the type of person where people rest easier at night knowing that there's people like you that exist on the planet. Like, as long as there's someone like this person, number one, as long as pile one exists, then I can rest easy knowing that this planet's going to be okay, right? Because there must be more people out there like them. So beautiful energies. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tune into it. Thank you for being part of my channel, man, and just tuning into this reading, because it's a co-creative experience. I get to connect with these energies based off of who's going to be drawn to these videos. So thank you, thank you. Please give this a thumbs up if it resonated. Leave any synchronicities down in the comment section, and I hope I see you guys soon. What's up, pile number 2? I just want to start off with, I don't know who's tuning into my content, but the energy the energy of these readings the past few weeks has been off the chain. It has been, man, I've been really enjoying connecting with you guys. So I have a ton of tarot. Wow, I have a ton of tarot cards come out for you guys, and a few oracles. I have not seen any of the cards yet. We're going to start off with the oracles today, and then we'll get into the tarot together. So how is pile number 2 remembered, Spirit? How do people remember you guys? So we have Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. So people remember you because of your quick wit. People remember you because you are, you're very resourceful. You seem like an endless well of knowledge is what I'm hearing. You know, people remember you because you're the type of person that when shit's hitting the fan and like everything is falling apart, it's like, I feel like you tend to thrive when disaster strikes for whatever reason. I mean, some of us are really built that way. And so I feel like you're remembered because it seems like when most people are freaking out and shit's hitting the fan, you're just this calm presence that, you know, is almost, it's almost, I don't want to say scary, but people are just like, I feel like when people are around you, they're like, this person has been through some shit. Like, this person has seen some stuff, because you just have this sense of, you're very stoic, and people remember just your gaze, your eyes. There might be something significant about your hair or just the way that you look. I mean, your eyes are very striking. So people remember your eyes. People remember, like, when you look at them, it's like you're really seeing them. You're seeing past their temporary role, and you're really looking into like the heart of someone. You hold very great eye contact is what I'm hearing. And you send shivers down people's spines. Some people get kind of intimidated by it, and some people get turned on by it. It's just, I'm just the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. But it almost seems very sexual when you look into people's eyes, and that's not how, you just have a lot of Shakti. You have a lot of power. And, you know, we're still in this weird place in the West where we still don't understand what true sexuality is. And in order to truly understand what real sexuality is, you have to understand, you know, the spiritual nature of things. And even if you wouldn't call it spirituality or whatever, just understanding creative force and creative capabilities will help us understand our sexual powers even more. So I feel like you're just an extremely creative person. Again, very resourceful. You have a lot of very many natural gifts and talents to offer to this planet. You might even have tattoos or some markings that are very significant. I'm getting like fire energy. So you guys might have red hair. There's something different about your hair. Like it's very big, like a very big mane, or it's very frizzy or something, very coarse. I'm sorry, excuse me. I take that as a positive sign, burping, because it's like I'm onto something. So yeah, very striking features for sure. What people remember is that it's kind of hard to get to know you on a deeper level. And again, it might be because you have had significant experiences where you had to protect yourself from people that were supposed to take care of you. So the people that were, you know, growing up that you felt like were supposed to love you the most ended up hurting you the most. So people, you know, people just remember about you that you're hard to get to know. Like, you don't just open your book to just anyone, but when you do, it's like people are shocked by the wellspring of love that you do have to offer. But you have learned, for whatever reason, you've learned that it's safer to protect yourself and that you can't just let anyone in, right? Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's really smart. You're learning how to tenderize your heart, and I'm hearing you'll be given more and more options as you go out, as you grow, and as you own yourself more and you open up more and you're just, really opening up more, you'll attract a lot of relationships in your life that kind of confirm that it's safe. It's safe and it's necessary to open up and to share with people the deepest parts of yourself, because oftentimes I feel like people see you as this person that seems, beyond human. And so it's really helpful for them when they see someone that is so incredible and that is so gifted in so many ways. It's really helpful and beneficial and healing for them to see that you have just as many flaws or you have just as many insecurities or whatever, right? But you're still going on anyway. So they're like, oh man, that person is making moves even though they feel all the things that I do, right? So maybe I could be, I can start to step into my stuff and to my gifts and make moves and make waves like pile number 2 has. Yeah, so a little bit hard to get to know, but once they do, it's like you are just this wellspring. Yeah, you bulldoze through challenges, right? You have big energy. So I'm getting the saying like small person, small human, or like, foxes are like small creatures. And then you have the elephant. It's like big ass energy. And, the elephant to me represents good luck and like protection. So spiritual protection. I mean, you see a lot more than most people. You're extremely spiritual. The fact that this third eye is illuminated, you're an extremely spiritual individual. You've done a lot of cultivating of yourself and your inner fire. So yeah, I was getting that sense of like very fiery individual with this fox energy coming through. So this is like essentially confirming that you, no matter how much darkness has been around you, it's like you have created your own light. You have always found the light through it. And again, that was that sense of people are around you and they're like, ooh, I feel like this person has seen some shit because I don't want to fuck with them. I don't want to be on their bad side, right? But they do want to get to know you. There are a lot of people that meet you and they want to get to know you more. You're like someone that they're like, you're very rare. They're like these type of people. There's something about pile number 2. There's something about pile number 2. I don't know what it is. I had eye contact with them when we were both walking in opposite directions. We passed in the hallway or we passed, down the grocery aisle, and I made eye contact with this person and I haven't been able to stop thinking about them since. Like, you're that type of person, right? That people are like, whoa, like I want to know that person even more. So yeah, people, yeah, it's like what this kind of exacerbates this allow love card. Like you have a lot of love to give. You have a lot to give. And it wants to be reciprocated. Like people cannot help but falling in love with you and wanting to give of themselves. They feel very comfortable sharing their emotions with you. Wow, yeah, we have the King of Swords coming up too. So you bring a lot of movement and a lot of change into people's lives. I feel like you're just the type of individual that even just talking to you, like texting with you or meeting you over social media or whatever it is, it's like people are really honored to have interactions with someone like you. It just feels different. It just feels like having this person in my life and talking to someone like this gives me hope. And you're almost symbolic for people being on the right path. And I hope this doesn't sound totally weird. And again, I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But this is what I'm being shown, that, people knowing someone like you is, they have a lot of respect for you. So with this King energy coming up twice, it's like people have the utmost respect for you. And whenever you are in someone's life, or whenever someone like finds you, comes across you or whatever, meets you, talks to you for a little bit, and they really start to get to know you, and they see how devoted you are to a vision much different than the mainstream, it's like they're like, whoa, I want to be more like this person, or having this person in my life like makes me feel a certain type of magical energy that I didn't know I had, or I didn't know could exist in a lifetime. Because people, I feel like you shake up people's worlds in the sense that it can get really mundane, and then you come in and you show a completely different way of living that is infused with synchronicity and magic and beauty, and they're like, wow, like I want that. I want some of that. And they really love communicating with you. So yeah, I mean, this card is coming up right underneath the spirit box. So you're remembered because, maybe you have shared your journey with people. Maybe people have just seen you rise and fall and rise again. The Five of Pentacles can also just talk about homely life, I guess that's a word, home life. And I was mixing home life with early childhood. So in this, with this card in particular, I feel like there might have been some things, that might have even been borderline traumatic that had happened in early incarnation that has really shaped you into this warrior that you now find yourself to be. Again, because I was sensing that a little bit with the allow love. Like, okay, this person has a little bit of a calloused heart, but I mean, who the fuck doesn't these days? Like, we're all 50 shades of fucked up. However, it does seem like it was significant enough because it happened early enough that it's definitely part of your dharma is learning how to open that up. So people remember you because you're very adventurous. You maybe travel a lot. Maybe people see you travel a lot. It's like you know a lot of people too. It seems like you have a lot of connections. You're a great networker. Again, I'm not surprised. It's like when you talk to someone for a short amount of time, it's like they're like, whoa, wait, can we exchange numbers? Like, I'm not hitting on you or anything. Maybe I am. Who knows? I feel like most people don't even know what the hell happens when pile number 2 walks in there, because it's all so much so fast. But people just assume you are someone that's going places, or that's already in places. People just assume you're someone that they want to know. It's again, this is just reiterating a lot of connections. So you have a lot of connections. You make friends really easily. You make connections very easily. Even though on one hand there's like this allow love, it's like you are. It's really light to be around you. You're very lighthearted. You are someone that looks out for your people. You're very loyal for your people, towards your people. People feel this from you. We have the Queen of Swords coming up right underneath the King of Swords. So the fact that both of these cards are coming up, it's like, what's so interesting, pile number 2? I never noticed that there is a cup here that is like locked up in a cage. I have never noticed that. And it's so funny that I'm noticing this today with this card about allow love. Like, there is literally, like, people feel what they remember is that they really want to get to know you, but you're really hard to get to know. It's really hard to get into your heart space. So whatever your sex is, like whatever your gender is, it's like the opposite sex finds it really hard to get to know you, but they see you as a counterpart. A lot of people see you and meet you and they're like, wow, this is my person. Like, this is my person. And I feel like, you're very selective of who you give that to, but it's like, man, you don't just let anyone get to know you in that way. And I feel like you have a lot of offers, right? With both of these king cards coming up. Again, no matter your gender, it's like whatever you're attracted to, that energy that, because we seek neutralization, positive neutrons. Positive charges will always seek negative charges is what I'm trying to spit out, and vice versa, in order to seek neutralization, right? That's what happens like when we meditate. We achieve neutralization of the mind, and we have the masculine energies blending with the feminine energies, and that's why it can feel so good in meditation. So the fact that we have 2 air cards, the highest court cards in the air cards tells me something about, the meditation. Maybe that's why you have accessed so much of your soul's blueprint, and you have this air of stoicism about you, is because you meditate a lot, you go in a lot, you've gotten to know that inner spark, that God spark within you. And also, I'm just hearing that, when there's a lot of people that are attracted to you romantically as well, you have a lot of different offers from a lot of different types of people, but it's like you are very guarded. It's so interesting because, the cups represents the heart, right? And so it's like you have your heart is like caged, your heart is locked away. And so again, reiterating, it's like people really want to get to know you, but it's like really hard for them to penetrate. It's like, I feel like on one hand, you're very expressive. Like, with the air energy and the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords just tells me you see things as they are. You don't bullshit with yourself. You don't bullshit with other people. So you call it as it is, including it within yourself, right? So on one hand, I feel like you're very open about yourself and what you're learning, and you're very open about, you know, your shortcomings and how you see reality. But on one hand, when it comes to your heart, right? When it comes to your heart, it's really challenging to get to know you and to feel a level. It's challenging for you to feel a level of safety within other people, and they can feel that, right? And I feel like maybe sometimes you feel like you're pretty stoic about, you know, people not being able to really pick up on those protection mechanisms, but they feel it. They notice. People know that it's kind of challenging to get to know that deeper aspect of you. And lastly, we have the Page of Cups. Yeah. So people remember you because, again, it's like when pile 2 comes into people's lives, anything is possible. This is the when pigs can fly card, right? When pile 2 comes into someone's life, they are not expecting it, and it's like the energy of anything is possible occurs. So you activate this space for a lot of people. Like his heart is illumined, right? This is and then we have over here, like I see this as 2 separate hands coming together and joining in union. So this kind of reiterates the fact that, you know, not only are people really attracted to you romantically, but just like friendships too. I feel like this extends across the board. When people come into your life, it's like they really want to get to know the real you. And don't get it twisted. I feel like you're doing a really incredible job. I mean, the first thing you had come up is, you know, you're someone that really trusts yourself. And you've done a lot of soul searching. You've had no choice but to ask the deeper questions of life, you know, and because of that, sometimes, you know, the Queen of Cups or the Queen of Swords can represent someone that comes across a little cold. Like she's the coldest out of all the queens in terms of like warmth and feeling like nurtured. And again, I'm not surprised, like you show up as someone that's extremely in their power, like really, really in the power, right? King of Swords too, same thing. Again, doesn't matter. Gender is not what I'm talking about here, right? Someone that just shows up extremely, you know, wise and sees a lot more than many people, and your feelings aren't very infused in how you make decisions. You do it out of a place of wisdom, right? I feel like you have learned that showing emotions is weakness, or that you can't trust your emotions. And so, you know, people can feel that. But again, we have this Page of Cups coming up underneath the King of Cups. So people know that that's something that you're also working on, and that you're kind of aware of that, you know, there's a necessity to let people in more, because you're going to get so much more out of life, and people are going to, I mean, that's, you're already out here changing people's lives. The depth and the extent of that will continue to increase as you trust a little bit more, as you trust, you know, understanding that you tend to see a lot more than most people. So you're dealing with, or you're working with people that are at different levels of their journey and have not done the transmutation, have not transmuted karma to the extent that you have, right? So oftentimes it's just important to remember when people are abusing us, or when they have done that in the past, that, you know, essentially that was their karma running off. That was, you weren't dealing with the core of them, right? Because the core of them is the same as the core of you. And so, I feel like you stand out a lot, and that can't be reiterated more, as like, they're like, I really want to get to know this person on a deep level. Like, I want to know what's really going on with them. I want to be this person for them that they can lean on, that they can reach out to, like, because I think in some way people will feel people would feel so honored to have you, you know, because they respect you. People have so much respect for you. And so they would be so honored to have someone like you trust them with like the depths of your heart, because they know that not a lot of people, very little to no people, see that aspect of you. So a little bit of advice from the guides coming in too with this one, but still powerful, extremely powerful energies. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised y'all are tuning into my channel, because you know, like attracts like. We'll just leave it there. So if this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel expand. And any synchronicities that came up, please leave those in the comment section, and I hope I see you soon. My nose is itchy, my face is itchy from my flyaways. Pile 3, we gonna get through this. Okay, hello pile 3. Man, I just feel so grateful to be able to do this. I feel so grateful. I'm so grateful. I followed the nudge and I started reading tarot online. Oh man, this has been the biggest gift for me as of recently, tuning into those energies that tune in to my channel and my content, man, because it's a co-creation. So those beings that when I'm channeling, I'm connecting with the energies of the people that are tuning in. And I just need to say, I've got some bomb ass people tuning into this. So I just want to start off with saying thank you for being here. And I'm really excited to get into your reading. These have been incredible. So how do people remember you? Pile 3. We're going to start with 3 oracle cards. I have not seen any of the cards yet. And then I have a ton of tarot for you. So how do people remember pile number 3, please, Spirit? Warrior, what the hell? We have the actual warrior card coming up. I've never pulled this, but I mean, I'm not surprised. That has just been a theme the past 2 weeks. And that theme came up in the other 2 piles too. So again, like attracts like, right? Oh, I just saw 111 on the clock. So I just need to revel in this. I just need to revel in this. I just made a video on my main channel too about the warrior's path. So I'm going to give a little shout out to pile number 1 about that. Be fearless and stand strong. So why do people remember you? You seem extremely fearless. I've never came across this card, you guys, so that's why I'm just like staring at it. Yeah, I mean, there's something very striking about your appearance too. You're very unique, very different. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all are tatted up. And very like, I'm getting like warm features, like dark hair. You know, you seem very in tune with your spirit guides. People remember you because they're like, this person is not from this planet. And if they are, like, there is literally magic working in their favor. You know, with all these feathers, it just reminds me of, you know, spirit guides being really active in someone's life. But yeah, I mean, you are someone, you're like unshakable. People remember you because it's like they know you will fight for what's right and that you don't bullshit around, and that if someone crosses you or if someone doesn't respect you or if you see disrespect happening in front of you to someone else, like you will interject and you will say something. Like you do not stand for people belittling others. You do not stand for bullies. You do not stand for people thinking that they are superior to other people. And it's like you are the definition of a true leader, which is someone that does not place themselves. You wouldn't call yourself a leader, right? Is what a true leader is. And even if you do, even if you've had that label given to you or you hear your guide saying that to you, I feel like at first it might have been when you started hearing that you were a leader, you're the type of person where it's really uncomfortable at first. So maybe this is the first time you're hearing that. But ultimately, that's what it is. It's like a true warrior does not care about the consequences of doing something that they feel deeply guided to do. You do not care about the consequences. You do not care that people are going to misunderstand you if they are, because oftentimes, you know, a warrior stands out because they are going against the grain of what most people would do. So again, if you see something happening in front of you that makes you really uncomfortable, or you see someone being abused or whatever, you see an animal being mistreated, it's like it makes you very uncomfortable and you will say something, you will speak up, right? I feel like you guys would be the type of people too, if you do eat meat, that you're like, I know how the animals are being treated. Like I am, you know, you're very ethical in your approach to how you do it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if I had like vegetarians and like vegans and people tuning in, because you really are, you know, you are a voice for the voiceless, right? So yeah, people remember you because you are just powerful. Like this energy is so palpable, like just coming into your presence, people feel like you are a force to be reckoned with, man. Yeah, very beautiful. People remember you, it's because you don't take orders from people on this plane, right? It seems like, you know, this card talks about patience, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to move it so you can see what's going on here without the reflection. There we go. So it looks like this angel is bowing, right? It's like you are deeply devoted to what feels the most right. That's what a warrior does. A warrior goes in for its answers. And is this to say that you haven't fucked up and that you're, you know, somehow less human? Because I am being drawn to the fact that we have someone that's very human here, and then we have a being that's like angelic. It's like you have learned to work with both of those things. And so I feel like you know, you understand that it's just part of your play, right? That when you're engaging with someone that seems like your enemy, there's a part of you that recognizes yourself within them. And, you know, that's one of the things that is really important. I feel like that the guides are just coming through and reminding pile number 3 is that, you know, when you're engaging with a battle, to remember that that is God, right? And that it's a play, and you're all playing these roles for each other, and you're going to be on both sides of all of the teams, man, right? And so that kind of removes we tether ourselves to deeper karma when there's judgment involved in the battle we are engaging in, versus when we're showing up and we're like, you know, karma yoga is I will take action. You know, so I know you guys are out there taking a lot of action in whatever ways that means for you. I will take action, but I'm not getting lost in my role, right? Do not get lost in the role, because that tethers you to more karma, right? And these superiority complexes tether us to more karma, right? So just, you know, you're someone that you also don't rush into battle, right? You don't rush into things. You don't make a lot of assumptions, or you try not to. So I feel like you're very poised. You're very wise. You're an extremely wise individual, because you don't just, yeah, I glance down. I turn this over, but I try not to look down because I don't want to lose my train of thought like I'm about to do probably because I'm getting another channel. But it's perfect because I did see the turtle out of the corner of my eye, and it completely builds off of what I was just beginning to say, is that, you know, you are very wise because you've done this many, many, many times. The turtle to me represents a very old soul, right? Because there's a lot of turtles on this planet that live extremely long, like 400, 500 years. So yeah, and I do with the turtle shell, I am getting this protective sense, like having a lot of protection came up in the beginning, and that's being reiterated here too, of the fact that you are divinely protected. Yeah, and again, there's that sense of you are patient, because again, it's like you don't want to rush into something before, like, you take risks, but they're like calculated risks, or, you know, you leap, or you have trust in things working out, and you get visions. I feel, yeah, I'm seeing that you're an individual that you'll get like really incredible visions of like what you're going to do, the people you're going to work with, the type of change you're going to make on the planet. But you don't just mindlessly rush into something. You wait for divine guidance. So it's not like you're waiting out of fear. Fear could be there, but it's like you're waiting for it to feel right to move. That's what a true warrior is a true warrior is like, you get the downloads, you're like, okay, this is the battle, this is the fight, this is my next step. I need to be aware of all the other players and the components that I'm working with. So, you know, that's where putting the horse in front of the carriage in this sense, so to speak, is, you know, higher intelligence being the horse, and your human mind and your human vessel being the carriage that kind of learns how to, you know, that kind of just like takes care of the very earthly aspects of what infinite intelligence is downloading to you, or, you know, showing you. So again, you wait for those puzzle pieces to fall into place or to make themselves known. You don't just like, you know, you don't just rush into something because you're fearful, and you don't rush into something because everyone else is rushing into it. It's like, you're like, no, I'm going to give myself permission and the gift of taking time, because that's how I avoid having regrets down the line. And again, you've learned to do that because you've been here many times. So there have probably been lifetimes where you did the opposite, where you rushed into something, you got the download, you got excited, or, you know, you were acting out of fear or whatever. You rushed and you did something really quick, and there were like severe consequences, right? But like severe to what? To that incarnation maybe, but in the grand scheme of things, like this shit don't matter, right? We're all going back to the same place. So yeah, people just really recognize that within you. Warrior, yeah, people feel safe around you, protected. We have the Page of Pentacles coming up. Yeah, there's more of this warrior spirit. I mean, she's holding like, what is that? A slingshot. So, you know, you go after, there's a lot of focus to you. You go after what you want. It's like when you shoot towards something, you're likely to achieve it. You're really close to nature. People see your connection to animals and to nature. They really admire that. It adds to your mystique is what I'm hearing. You also have the Devil. So people remember you. I mean, you might spark up for people like the deepest desires. You might also spark up a lot of insecurities for people. You know, I'm getting this like type of frenemy vibe where people like really enjoy having you in their life, but you're just like, you're just operating on a different realm than many people. And so I feel like, you know, sometimes you can be really triggering. It can be triggering to be your friend because it's like, on one hand, they see you as someone that has so much to offer and someone that's going somewhere, and you've probably achieved a lot of success within your life, you know, regardless of what your age, regardless of what success looks like for you. People that are close to you recognize your success and how, just like the impact that you leave. So I'm getting that energy over here, and then I'm feeling an energy over here, which is kind of like where the warrior card is. So I'm not surprised, where the energy over here is like, you could see it, but you don't play into it. You don't feed into that bullshit. You're just like, you understand and recognize that people will do that, but you're like, it has nothing to do with me, right? So I am getting the sense that you're very wise. And again, there was that sense of you seeing everyone as being very equal, because you're an old soul. You know, that's very natural. That's a mark of an old soul is like, they recognize like, I have probably been the lowliest of lows. Like, you see yourself in homeless people, right? You see people living on the street and you don't pity them. You're like, I've been there. You know, you can feel that you've been there. And then I'm sure you'll see celebrities or whatever, you know, people that are, doing very well. And you're like, I've been there too. I don't want that either, right? Like, you can sense that you've already lived out. Your soul has already extracted the nutrients of different archetypes that's represented in our society and through the caste systems, whatever you want to call it. And so it's like, you don't, you understand that you're just mirroring to people what it is they need to see about themselves. Oh yeah, the devil, that's so weird. I just said that and I never noticed. He's holding up a mirror right here, right? And so that's essentially what happens. And people remember you because you're also very attractive. People are like really turned on by you. These readings have been going 18 plus, but it's like, again, it's like you have this warrior spirit and people just want to merge with that. They're like, rub off on me. Oh my God. That's going to end up in my blooper section. I already know it. But people are just like, want to merge with your energy. Because they're like, wow, if, you know, I mate with this person, it's a subconscious thing that we see someone so great and we want to mate with them because there's a lot of spiritual energy that's exchanged. We're exchanging both our powers, our strengths, but, you know, it's also being wise to understand we're also exchanging, our deepest insecurities. We're exchanging fears. I've had really insane experiences with being able to, like, partners I had been with that didn't cleanse after being sexually involved with other people. I could tune into their paradigms. I was downloading it and I could feel, very, like, I'm an intuitive empath. So I could feel the reason why their relationship didn't work out. And I was channeling that. And so I brought it to my partner's attention. I'm like, hey, did it fall apart because this, and this? And they were like, oh my God, that's like exactly why. It was crazy. So, I feel like it's just important to remember that that's what's really going on a deeper level, but people might think it's lust. And sometimes in some cases, it's probably a combination of things. They're like, you're just so attractive. There's something about this person. But ultimately they're like, this is a high level being. And I feel like I might evolve and get some upgrades if I am sexually involved with this person. So yeah, right. I mean, continuing off of it, people remember you because you're someone that's very healing to be around. Temperance is juggling the sun and the moon. So there's this sense of polarizing or neutralizing polarization. Is that what I'm not sure if that one came through in this reading, but neutralizing polarization. And then temperance, talks about tempering yourself and not rushing into something. So that's really just amplifying the sense of patience. You're very wise. You're an extremely wise individual. A successful warrior, in order to make it to old age, warriors have to be wise. They cannot act from impulse. There has to be balance of the feminine and the masculine. There has to be balance between mind and heart. It's not one or the other. It's a balance. So we have the King of Cups coming through. So an individual that is very poised, someone, people will remember you because you make decisions from the heart. And I know I just said there has to be a balance, and I'm like, you make decisions from the heart. But what I mean is you're really in tune with your emotional guidance system, right? The Cups family and like Ace of Cups too, but just generally the King and the Queen of Cups in particular to me represent an individual that is really in tune with their emotional guidance system, right? The heart is the gateway between heaven and earth. It's the bridge between divine wisdom and then grounding that onto the earth plane. So I wouldn't be surprised too if you're someone that's very into meditation or you're a yogi, but you're someone that just feels very emotionally mature, right? Very balanced. So again, that's why you don't rush into things, right? You take time, you let things take time. And I'm hearing that applies romantically. Even if you can start off really hot and heavy and there's a lot of lusts and there's a lot of desires or whatever, it's like you understand things are going to play out, how they're going to play out. And you're like, I'm just going to carry myself as poised as I can throughout this. Oh my God, we have the Queen of Cups. So what do people remember about you? A lot of people that are romantically involved with you think that you are their person. A lot of people will probably think that you're their person. You are seen as the, what is the word? The ideal counterpart for people. So again, we have the King and Queen of Cups. So regardless of if you have more masculine energy, if you have taken a male body in this incarnation or female, it doesn't matter. Whoever's tuning into this reading, they're like, pile number 3 is my person. Pile number 3 is my divine counterpart. Again, there's a lot of people have the tendency of projecting onto you what it is that they maybe want to experience more of within themselves. But again, you just have this, you have this energy of people understanding that if I'm in this person's life, if I'm like having sex with this person, if I'm talking to this person, if I'm connected to this person, I'm going to go places. Like people just knowing you and being around your energy, even if it's just like communicating online or whatever, just being around your energy, people just feel like they are, it's like an osmosis where they're like, okay, that they take that to mean that they're doing something right. When people are in contact with you. And even if this isn't stuff that they're thinking, this is just like what's happening energetically. So yeah, my God, more cards about meditation. So people remember you, you fought many battles, right? This hermity type of energy exists when we go into ourselves a lot, right? I mean, this is the ultimate card for waiting for divine guidance. This is really, again, we have like 3 significant cards here that talk about someone that is not afraid to pause in order to receive divine messages of how to go about a situation or a challenge or whatever. You really teach people that they can trust themselves. You teach people how to go into themselves. You teach people how to know God, right? Which is the biggest blessing that we can give to other people is to trust themselves, right? And inherently through that, they learn to trust God, right? Because it's no separate. Being able to trust the innermost part of yourself and your intuition, that's an extension of spirit, right? So you're really giving people a gift that extends beyond just one lifetime. And that's kind of where this, that's why when people meet you, there's also this like karmic kind of bond, because I feel like you've done this many, many times. So you just have you've probably been many things to many people many times, right? And so they kind of recognize that when they're around you. Last but not least, we have the Empress. So people remember you again. I mean, you're just like so physically attractive. I never knew you could see the nipple. I didn't know you could see the nipple on here. You're just someone that is extremely physically attractive. People remember you because, I feel like there's a lot of people that would love to have a family with you or would love to there's some people that, if you're a female tuning into this would be like, wow, this person carrying my child would be like a dream come true. But ultimately what I'm getting is you're just someone that is extremely nurturing, someone that, although there's this like rough around the edges kind of side, it's interesting that these are kind of like sandwiching the reading, because it's like rough around the edges or, a lot of this fierce energy, but deep down there's just like this very nurturing and just very compassionate and caring individual. And people just remember you because they just feel so seen in your presence. They feel so taken care of. and they feel very blessed to know someone like you. And people remember you, like I'm hearing for some of you, you know, because I am seeing this world here. It's like you're known worldwide, or you will be known worldwide, or people like assume you're going to be, you know, known worldwide just because wherever you go, you just leave a wake of power. It's like you're the type of person where you're just like hard to not notice. And so people are like, this person is absolutely going somewhere. So beautiful energies, lovely person inside and outside. Thank you for tuning into this. Leave a thumbs up if this reading resonated. If you had any synchronicities, please leave that in the comment section, and I hope I see you guys very soon.